Hey, family. This is Steve Copeland. What's up, family? Y'all know I'm bored, right? Y'all know I'm bored to come on this late. I just wanted to share some stuff with y'all um, because of the work I do. What's up, Waterly? Because of the work I do. Um, I was on the Zoom today. I was on the Zoom today. Let me come on. I'm doing my software update on my other phone. But I was on the Zoom today, and y'all know a lot of stuff I do is helping out people, right? So a lot of the I'm gonna say platforms on TikTok and some of the prompts that they put up, it kind of helped me to better understand or how to deal with my clients, right? And most of the clients that I deal with, most of them have psychological issues. They on meds. They on meds, right? And we was talking about this today, and we mainly went to TikTok. We went to TikTok and we started talking about behaviors. What's up, Tashawn, baby? And we started talking about psychological behaviors, right? And I was talking about how when my clients are on their meds, they're some of the calmest, peaceful people you ever want to talk to. But when they're not on their meds, from what I hear on TikTok, right, it sounds like that. I don't know what it is on this end right here on TikTok, right? And I'm on my live stream broadcast network too. I just want y'all to know, right? That's a 24-hour thing that I do on my other my iPad. So I'm talking to both. But now, what it does for me, to Sean, and I know you know, when I'm in society and I'm dealing with people, and y'all know I deal with a lot of people, our politicians, whether they're Democrats, Republicans, homeless people, you talking about millionaires, you talking about business people. I do not, when I'm dealing with people in public, hear people talk like I hear on TikTok. I don't know what it is. And this is what we was talking about, right? And I was telling them too. And I heard a guy say it the other day. Whenever they do surveys, right? Whenever y'all do statistics, whenever y'all do surveys, you're doing your research, right? You're doing your research, you're doing your studying. Do y'all realize where they get that information from? Even if they don't sit down, and I'm gonna say this as an example, as a recovering addict myself, with coming up on 33 years clean, and I work with people with trauma issues from childhood that they're dealing with now as adults. That's why when y'all see people running around with it seem appear like they're out of their mind, when it seems like they're out of their mind or they're using stuff to sedate it, it could be food, it could be smacks, it could be gambling, it could be lying, it could be manipulating, it can be all of that. Because the whole thing is they're afraid to look at themselves. They're running from themselves. Then you got people with multiple personalities, right? Now we on this Zoom today and we talking about all of this. Now let me share with you. I am not a professional in that sense. I'm not. But the people that I work with, my goal when I work with people who life has fallen apart is to help them regain a life that's worth living. So you have to break this. And some people, they will put on certain different, I was going to say personalities, right? But they will go into another phase of being somebody else. and they will act a certain way. And I'm seeing it a lot over here. I'm seeing it a lot on TikTok, Tashawn. So when I go up on, and I'm going to say Mr. Humble's platform, I call him nephew. When I go up on Ron's platform, I call him nephews. I like some of the prompts that they put up, right? Because it's real educational. And I'm telling y'all the same stuff that I do when it comes to dealing with clients with psychological issues and traumas. And when I say the trauma, right, because y'all not got to watch certain things for TikTok, right, sakes, word-wise. When I say trauma, my goal is, because I know it stems from a younger age. So when I hear the men bashing the women, don't get it wrong, bros. Because 9 times out of 10, if you had a healthy relationship with mama, you won't disrespect a woman. You won't disrespect that woman. You won't disrespect that queen. Now, I ain't talking about sometimes we might get loud with each other. We do. You know, because as a man, I'm telling you right now, I don't like for nobody to try to overtalk me. Don't do that, because I'll come up on you. I'll get loud on you, right? And I know you might not mean no harm, but I'm just so used to dominating whatever, mainly when it comes to me. Now, how you do things is your business. But when it comes to me, I have to stand firm on my morals, my values, my principles. So if you're a woman or a queen and you feel like you can do this and do that, I will let it come but so far, but then you got to bring it down. Because if you're talking at me, and I want you women to listen, because I'm not no chump when it comes to being a man. If you talking at me, I'm going to flare up. Because that is called psychological abuse, verbal abuse. You get me? If you feel like you need to chew a person out, man or woman, that's called psychological abuse. 9 times out of 10, whenever you come for somebody like that, that's because you're hurting inside. You are hurting inside. And your way of coping with what you're dealing with, you're taking it out on others. And then on top of that, when we was talking about it starts basically from the home. 9 times out of 10, you was abused or you watch your parents being abused mentally, emotionally, you know, physically as well. That's why I say I got to watch certain things for TikTok. So as you begin to get older, you will carry those same characteristics. You don't have to now. You don't have to. That's what we was talking about. So now, we was talking about coping skills. We was talking about strategies. We was talking about ways and means of doing intervention programs. You know, conflict intervention solutions and stuff like that, right? Resolutions. I'm sorry. We was talking like on stuff like this because number one, when I deal with my clients, and if they out there with that he said, she said, that said, this said, my thing is don't come in the building with that. However y'all deal with stuff on the outside, that's y'all stuff. Y'all got to resolve it out there. Don't bring it in here. Then if it do come in, then we got to come up with a ways and a means to come up with resolutions where we can put it in one spot. I say calm it down. I'm going to say calm it down. Those are my words, right? Those are my words. I can't let you up right now. I can't let you up right now, but thanks. But now, and I'm trying to check because my machine going off for my arm. I had to redo this phone if y'all hearing that noise. But anyway, I wasn't going to come on, but I'm sitting up here and I'm looking at everything that we basically talked about, right? I'm looking at everything we talked about. Because my thing is, I want us to learn as a community, and I'm going to say black people. I don't give a freak about the white man. That's your bull junk. If you live in your life and you steady saying the white man this and the white man that, that's your stuff. I don't give a freak about the white man. Because one thing I understand at 63 years old, don't nobody hold Steve back but Steve. Okay? With a 9th grade education. And I like saying that to be smart, because I want y'all to pick with it. Because when I say I came out in the 10th, you could not tell me that wasn't a good thing to do. But look, one day me and my wife was arguing. She said, that's why you got 9th grade education. Then it hit me. I said, oh my God. So I realized my vocabulary is like limited. You get me? Around that 9th grade. So now, that's why I had to keep stuff simple. That's why when it comes to us, you see this, I'm talking about the black man. When it comes to us, if you still stuck, and I'm going to get back to what we was talking about, right? If you still stuck on what happened in 16, 19, and you didn't even live through that, and you stuck and talking about something that you have not personally experienced, what our ancestors went through, then you want to take it back to Roe versus Wade and all of this. Now I understand now, get the information, seek the knowledge. But now, if you see those things that's being practiced in today's life, then we got to learn a way. We got to come up with ways and means to break it. Why are you staying stuck? Why? Then you got all this knowledge. You got all this wisdom, because it's a lot of educated people on TikTok too. A lot of people with doctorate degrees, pastors, ministers, deacons, all of that. A lot of educated people on here. And it's a lot of miseducated people on here too. And what a lot of us is doing, and it ain't me, y'all want to come up because you hurting inside. And it starts basically from childhood. Because I'm going to tell you this, as a man myself, and I got to go here because this popped in my head while I'm talking, right? Even though I've been married twice, don't you ever think I did something wrong, because guess what? It's a lot of people that never have found love in their life. All right? So don't take it for a joke. Because it's an old statement, it's better to have loved than not loved at all. And I'm going to say it again, it's better to have loved than not loved at all. You got people, right, I'm 63, that's around my age, don't have children, don't have a wife. So once they're gone, they're gone. But as a father of 3 biological kids, 2 actually biological grandkids. So Steve Copeland leave this earth today or tomorrow, his name gonna go on forever. My legacy, mainly through my daughters. Because my son would have to get a test to make sure whatever baby his girl may have or wife may have is his, if they choose to do that. But the Copeland bloodline, Steve Copeland, will go on forever. Don't get it mixed. See, I listened to y'all talk about certain things, and this is some of the stuff we was talking about earlier. White and black people is not the only people that exist on this earth. I don't know where y'all minds be at. When you look at your billionaires, close to being trillionaires, they're not all white. I don't know. I don't understand how y'all can't see that. But because I'm into the business side of things, I know a couple of black men in Baltimore City that's billionaires. And y'all know the old statement, right? The more money you make, the more taxes you pay. Because you're in a different tax bracket. And be honest with y'all, wait a minute, I gotta make sure my Dexicon is acting right on here. And I wasn't, cause I'm starting to stutter. But the thing with that was, once we started talking, I started doing some research on some other stuff too. I did. Because number one, when you're dealing with society, mainly I gotta say us. when you're dealing with the Black society, I'm trying to keep looking for ways and means for us to break this cycle. Post-traumatic slavery syndrome. You can lie to yourself. But when I hear y'all start saying stuff like the white man, you let people like us see that you are stuck. You are stuck. You are stuck. And to show y'all, right, and I'm gonna get back to some of the things that we talked about too. I was talking with my daughter, my 26-year-old, right? Now she's studying to get her daycare license. And she said, Dad, I'm thinking about driving tractor trailers too, but I don't want to leave the baby. I said, oh, you can do that because a lot of women is getting into it. And what I said, women that's dressing and looking like women, nails, hair, I mean, come on. Because it was a field dominated more by men. And I told her, I said, oh, that's good because I did it for 35 years. So I know she gonna make real good money if she choose whatever route she take. But she said she was thinking about it, right? And I blew up. I'm like, girl, you can get with FedEx, you can get with UPS, you can get, because I'm like, because I know the money she can make. And now we talking about 6 figures. And she don't really have to travel the road. Because I will point her to the companies that I know she can make good money with. See, a lot of y'all can't talk like that. You can't say that. You'll sit back and stand the problem. Well, when we got an issue, even the mayor, our council members, and all of them know this is what my mind do. Whenever I'm sitting somewhere in the meeting and we talking about certain things, my mind go click, 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 and I'll start looking at the solution. Then I'll tell them what we can do. Even when it come to business, I only stick to what I do with my business. So now the reason why I'm sharing that in that sense, y'all, to let y'all know where Steve Copeland is at when it comes to working with the Black community. My whole goal, which God laid on my spirit, and I tell y'all this is ministry for me. So when you hear me talking like this is the way I minister. Why are you screaming? Why are you yelling? This is the way I minister. And if you can't take it, go find somebody that's going to play games with you in the ministry. But this is the way I speak. Some going to listen, some ain't going to take it, some ain't going to like it. But that's your stuff, it ain't mine. Because my thing is, don't pay attention to this. Listen what's coming from here. That's why y'all miss it. Because you're so busy looking at me, you looking at what I got on, you focusing on that, rather than listening to my spirit. I already know. And you judge me before I finish saying anything out my mouth. I already know. I was there at one point. I had to learn to listen, to learn. So anyway, as we was over there, right, as I was over there, and I can only talk more about, y'all know I work mainly with the homeless population, right? Now, everybody, normally the ones that come to the housing program or ask me for help, they either fell on hard time, they might have lost a job, you know, or they've been unmanageable with their money. They don't know how to budget well. So once you come into the housing program, the goal is to help restructure your life. I don't hear y'all talk like that on TikTok. And this, even though this is an app, this is a social platform as well. The same way I'm restreaming to 5 channels while I'm talking on my platform right here. How many up there? 2 of my Facebook pages up there. Twitter is up there. Twitch is up there. And Facebook is over here. This makes 6. 7, I think. 7. And if I go on my Instagram on this phone, I will be live streaming just like my platform to 8 different platforms at one time. So my voice is being heard. I'm being heard all around the world. The same way on TikTok. When we over there talking and everything, right, and y'all yelling and screaming and you doing this, it's people watching us from all around the world. So a lot of times when black people act like that, you proving whoever right that talk bad about us. And then y'all can tell when somebody, like if you on a platform and somebody come up and say, I'm from the UK or something like that, they telling you that they watching us over there. Or you got somebody that's in China, right, that might can speak English, and they'll come up and say, well, I'm from China. This to let you know, whatever we put out on these social platforms, it's worldwide. Not only that, TikTok is monitoring and everything we do. That's how they gather information. The same with Facebook. What do AI? What is AI? What is AI? And I guarantee you, they watching what I'm saying, right? They're gonna start saying, watch they start putting stuff up. Keeping it real. The couch conversation, keeping it real. Because they monitoring my talk show. They monitor me on Facebook as well. All them other pages I have, they are monitoring me. They monitoring all of us when you have a live stream. It's 2 things you can do with a live stream. You can educate the people, right, about what's going on around the world in politics, religion, and all that. That's why they come for me a lot, because I talk about religion and politics a lot. So I had to learn to bring it down. If you already know, it's been designed, right? And a lot of this we talked about, y'all. You already know that it's been designed basically to wipe out the black population. See how I started a little bit, because certain things I have to watch it. If you already know, it's been by design. So because you know what's happening to your people, a lot of y'all are running rather than coming together and fighting this system that's put in place. But then you'll turn around, Queens, and you got a man that's standing up, created programs or working in the inner city with other programs now to help us make our cities better, and y'all just cry. Ain't no man this, man that. That's your personal bull crap. The same with me. If I come up here and I done slept with a lot of goddamn women, mainly younger females, okay? And I ain't say underage females, okay? And I'm not talking about now. I'm talking basically back in the days when I used to dye this and all that stuff. Because the first thing, if you don't clear it up, they be like, oh, he doing this. Oh, he old enough to be granddaddy. Because y'all go right into wherever you want to go with this. You need to stop that, because I can do it too. When you come up here and you start talking about all men this, all men that, you have not slept with all men. You make yourself sound like a prostitute. When you come up on these platforms, all men this, all men, I'm like, I ain't sleep with you. I don't even know you. And then I'm like, oh my God, where you at? Did I sleep with you? You up in Alabama somewhere, talking about all men this, all men. I didn't sleep with you. You gonna put all men in one category because of the men you allow in your life that screwed you over. Whether it was your father, whether it was your uncle, whether it was your granddaddy, because that's all I'm hearing. Whether it was your cousin, won't you get to the truth? Because when you talk like that, and with the men too, when you talk like that, that's what I'm hearing. Because most women that have a healthy relationship with their father, they basically know how to identify a good man. I am personally my daughter's first love. I already know that. I'm talking about as a man. I already know that. My ex-wife or my son's mother, I love the relationship my son and his mother have. I love it. I love the relationship my son and his sisters have. I love it. I love the relationship that my son and his YT girlfriend have. And I watch how they take care of my son. He can't be around seafood. And when I wanted to go eat one time, family, and they was taking me out to dinner for Father's Day, my son and his girlfriend, and I like seafood. She was like, nah, Lord Steve can't be around seafood. But we did. Any restaurant you go to, have seafood, right? But they normally ask, is there steak separated from that? So he won't break out into, he's allergic. When I heard her say that, and I'm going to tell some of y'all that want to talk about interracial dating. When I heard her say that little Steve can't be around this and that, I said, oh my God, she got his back. Just like his mother, just like his sisters. They order my food when we go to dinner. They'll order my food because they know daddy likes seafood platter, and they'll order it, and they'll say normally it's Diet Cokes. I drink Diet Pepsi. Normally they'll say Diet Coke or Pepsi, right? Whatever they got, light ice. I ain't even got to open up my mouth. That's why when I listen to a lot of women on TikTok, right, y'all amazes me. Y'all really amazes me. And when you down men, when you down men, and if you got a son, I know what you're doing to him. You can't see it. If you got a husband, I know the hell you putting him through in that house with this. Anytime you come on here and express yourself the way you do, now it's probably the psychological issues too. And then you turn around, hi, hon, how you doing? I'm like, and if he right there listening to you on these platforms, bashing men, do you realize you indirectly talking to him? Do y'all think? Even if your wife right there and you're downing women, you're indirectly talking to her down. It's like you throwing a hint to them. Do y'all realize what you're doing? No. And I know you don't. But I'm telling you from a personal level of experience for a person that's been married twice. Me and my first wife, we would argue now and then. It wasn't something on a consistent basis. You get me? My second marriage was a little bit more challenging. So if y'all want to learn something about certain relationship and marriages, ask the person that been in that position. I don't have no problem in telling you what I did to mess up the marriage. You got to listen. I don't need you to say, well, what did you do? I'm going to tell you. If you know about Steve, I'm going to tell you. Well, I wouldn't tell everybody. No, I'll tell you. You wouldn't. When I open up my mouth to share my personal experiences, and I start sharing the solution to help somebody that might be stuck somewhere, you never tell somebody they shouldn't do this and that because you are afraid. You don't do it. I've been doing this for almost 33 years. Well, you ain't got to yell. You right, but that's the way I talk. Well, you ain't got to yell. But I tell you what I learned about us family and some stuff that we was talking about, and I'm talking about you goddamn black people. And I'll tell it to you in your face. you don't like the truth. The sad part about it, we can't even get along together. But y'all keep blaming the white man. Let unity come amongst us. We already know how the system is set up. If you already know, why you steady complaining about a damn system that you know that we can't really benefit from, but if we come together as a whole, they cannot keep us down. They cannot. And this what we was talking about a little bit earlier. And most of the people that I was talking to understand how it's been by design. But once your eyes are open, once you see what is really happening, okay, we got you now. This is what we do to slow certain things down. Now I have to watch the word because I'm gonna go to scripture a little bit, but it's a time to be born, right? Now catch me for TikTok's sake. Catch me. It's a time to be born, and it's a time to be unalive. So you know, I'm at 63 now. So the same way I grew up to this age, look where I'm going. And once I hit 50, I'm going like this now. I ain't going back up. Look, if I live to see 100, thank God. So look at what I'm saying. I got more time behind me basically than I got in front of me. I got more time behind me. 63. If I live another 63 years, thank him. So why do I want to waste my time? I'm 63. Not trying to come up with intervention programs, coming up with solutions, because I didn't experience certain things. Came out of it, been out of it. Come on, let's come together. We can work together and slow this down. And I'm talking about us black people. You got to break that mental cycle because it starts here. That's why a lot of y'all, when y'all be talking, you don't realize it. You be saying, oh, the white man this and the white man that. Let that sink in your head. Oh, we can't do nothing. In the inner city, it's like this, it's like that. No, I done foster care. They taught us how to basically deal with the children. They got parenting classes for parents, and it's basically teaching your kids between right and wrong. You teaching them morals, values, and principles. And 9 times out of 10, if you got a child that's real destructive, maybe you need to find out why. If it's not the lead, or if it's not the mold in the house, or the rat droppings, maybe somebody touched your child. And maybe they told you, and you called them a liar. But you wondering why your son's out there acting a certain way. You wondering why your daughter's out there acting a certain way. Flirtatious, stuff like that. Because they don't feel good about their own selves inside. So that's the way they seek attention. Look at your own life. So all you gotta do is look back at you when you was coming up. Some of that stuff you might not even experience, but whoever was around them might have done some stuff to your child. That's how you get to the root cause of whatever it may be. You ain't trying to. Because a lot of y'all as parents know what Uncle such and such did. You know what your brother did. You know what your father did. You know what your uncle did. And it's not just the girls. And some women too, with the boys and girls. So when you have children acting a certain way, right? That's why I started the Teen Talk Show, so we can talk. We can get them to talk as comfortable as they can. I don't hear none of y'all talking about programs that y'all might have put together to help deal with certain crises or trauma or issues or challenges or struggles that our people are going through in the here and now. But you want to come up here sounding like you got your BA degree, your DCC degree, whatever they are, because you can talk good. But I'm waiting to hear what is we doing to slow a lot of this down. And no, I was not talking like this on our Zoom. I'm on my live. So we started talking about basically getting to the root cause. As a recovering person, I'm gonna say with an addicted personality, right? I don't mind saying that. And don't tell me, oh, you shouldn't say. No, I'm the type of person, if I don't practice self-control and self-discipline, I will overdo everything. I am a chocolate man. I won't buy a whole cake and bring in the house, because 9 times out of 10, if I eat a slice, half of it's gonna be gone that night, if not whole. So certain things I don't bring in the house. So I have to share this type of stuff with people that might have a chocolate, you know. It could be anything in that sense. That's food. So, and it's not the food itself. Now watch where I go, because this is getting to the root cause. Once again, I got to look at Steve Copeland. All right, Steve, what is going on in here that you're trying to replace this with outside sources? Because I can't deal with this. So now I got to run. This is what a lot of us do. So when you wonder why your man or your woman is cheating, a lot of times it ain't got nothing to do with you. Rather you hitting it right, doing it right, it ain't got nothing to do with you. But you'll turn around, he cheated on me. No, he done went and sold his soul. Laying on this one, laying on that one, laying on this one, laying on that one, laying on this one, laying on that one. He's taking his body, or she taking her body, she allowing somebody else in it. They selling their own self short. But you'll turn around and say, he cheated on me, or she cheated on me. Rather than you saying, damn, they must be really hurting. You won't see that. It's all about you. But they the one doing it. Because by right, no man, if you in a relationship, right, serious commitment. Let me say the commitment. If you in a committed relationship, marriage or whatever, no, you should not step outside of, y'all commitment. So it's not that person that he's cheating on, it's the individual that's cheating. And I know a lot of y'all over probably saying, that's a lie. He cheated on me. Okay, keep blaming yourself. I just told you, don't blame yourself. If you want to carry the weight of somebody else going out there selling their body, then that's you. Because I told you. I call myself a retired sugar daddy, because when I went after something, if I had to pay for it on that in that way, I paid. Took a shopping and everything. And a lot of them had boyfriends. I was known as Unc. I was known as the Hack Man. Y'all want to talk? But I had to look at me, how I was putting my life in jeopardy. And this is some of the stuff, because that's getting to the core, right, of why people do what they do. Now, when I first got clean, and I share this a lot in the meetings, or I share this a lot when I'm talking with the men and the women, wherever we're in a group session, Back in the days when I was drinking, stuff like that, I used to wake up early in the morning, gagging, running to the bathroom, gagging. And I always said this 18-month-old baby being choked, right? Right? On the, I'm gonna say PP. So put that word there for TikTok's sake. So I would go in the bathroom throwing up, gagging. And I went to a therapist because of some of the stuff that we practice. And she called it, and I gotta say for TikTok's sake, y'all, is sexual curiosity, right? 5, 6 years old, practicing certain things too. She called it sexual curiosity, right? Because some young kids will do boys and girls, right? Play father, wife, husband, house, right? And when I went to her to tell her about that, she said this. She said, and I was talking about gagging, right? I believe something happened to me, right? This 18-month-old baby. Why I kept saying this is just 18 months. So she told me, she said, sometimes the minds play tricks on you, right? I said in my head, you can say what you want. Something happened to me. So I accepted the fact. Now see where I'm going at? Talking about getting to the core, the root cause of maybe why. For the life that I was living, sedating it with the, then the drinking at 13, and then the other stuff out 14, doing this between 14, 15, didn't get clean till I was 30. Now, I wasn't one of the ones out on the street like this and stuff like, no. No, I was a hustler, but I was using my stuff as well. So I had to have some type of structure there too. But then it got to the point I see where my life was completely spiraling out of control. And I share this with you too. And I share this when I'm doing a meeting. It was getting to the point that I was either going to take somebody out and spend the rest of my life over the prison, or somebody was going to do me. And I'm telling you, it was like I seen my life going like this. I can't think of her name, but remember that singer when she was talking about how when she was caught up and her life was spiraling, and then she hit it's like she hit that ground, boom, and that woke her up. And that's what was happening with me. Now I'm sharing this with y'all. This is nobody but God. This not me. But somebody need to hear this. So when Big Steve come on here and I open up my mouth and I get real loud, if it's not something you want to hear, keep it moving, because it's not for you. Dog, do y'all know I get so many people calling me and say, can you help my son? Can you help my daughter? Because they know I've been through certain things. And they call me and ask me, can I help? And they be grown. Sons, daughters, teenagers, but mainly the adults. And then y'all gonna sit up here when we come on these live streams, right? Like myself. That's why I don't let everybody up. If you're gonna come up and you're gonna share a process of recovery, yes. If you are a therapist, if you are a PRP, if you are a counselor, if you are a psychiatrist, if you are a I was gonna say psychotherapist, right? But if you're hypnosis, like I'm trying to pronounce the word right, but we got a lot of therapists that does hypnosis as well. If you're the type of person that's into healing people naturally, I need you to work with the clients to help turn this around, to help them, like teaching them how to, treat the body right, take care of themselves, eat more healthier, stuff like that. You get me? Doing yoga, meditation, because everybody they don't want the meds. So that's why when I come on, and if I come on your platform, I'll sit here and watch people talk a bunch of nonsense, and y'all would get them like 5 minutes. The moment I open up my mouth, about a minute later, you cut me off. Because you know I'm going to come in with the recovery part of things. Do it every time. And I'll be on there and I watch people skip all over me and let everybody else come in poisoning your platform. And will deliberately skip over Big Unc. Because you know I'm going to come, when I open up my mouth, I'm going to come another way. Because that's not where my spirit at, to stay in that madness. I recognize the madness, I recognize the trauma, but I can't stay there. And my thing is not being smart, right? And I'm not saying I can't learn. Do not get it wrong. But if you 40-something years old, 50, and you trying to tell me, when I told you I used to be in the streets, so that means I understand that mentality very well. I understand that lying, manipulating, deceiving people, and all that type of stuff. I was very freaking good at that. Can write the book on it. Talk to many of psychiatrists and professors and all of that, mainly about the Black community, helping them to better understand why Black people tend to do what they do. Because a lot of them know what we went through. So whenever, I don't care where we at. I have no problem telling them how Steve Copeland started doing this at 11, at 13, at 14, at 15. That's my story. How his life was flipped around. How I got into truck driving at 21. They be so amazed when you tell them stuff like that. I'm telling you, because I see it all the time. That's why I have to give people a sense of hope that no matter how we live our lives, we can turn it around. But we got so many people that wants to cut each other down. So the next time you open up your mouth to talk bad about a sister, look at yourself as that white man. The next time you want to open up your mouth, Black man or woman, and down another Black person, look at you as that white person degrading your own race. But you think you doing something. And I was reading up on a lot of that. It's called psychological abuse. Being very verbally abusive. And it talks about how it basically came from a childhood certain situation. But you don't have to practice those behaviors in your life today. Y'all choose to. And you want to come up here and sound intellectual and degrade your own people. And I try to explain to y'all, this is the type of work I do and helping our people turn the quality of their lives around. It flies right over your head. Because you rather continue degrading each other than to listen to what somebody's saying about breaking that cycle. And a lot of y'all it's like, I think y'all getting paid. I do. I think a lot of Black people that come up on these platforms on here, I think y'all suckers getting paid to downgrade your own freaking people. You're a sellout. You are a sellout. And like I said, Brandon Scott, that's our man in Baltimore City. A lot of our council members in Baltimore City, the House of Delegates, the Black caucuses. See, I'm mentioning stuff y'all don't even pay attention to because it's in your city too. Your mayor, your governor, your congresspeople. Are you in your community? So you see what's going on in your community? Why? She said, "Why am I drinking?" See, that goes to show you must be drinking. I'm drinking a Diet Pepsi. Did you hear me say I'm coming up on 33 years clean? See, that goes to show. See what I was saying? See what I was saying? You bring your butt right up here. You must be over there. But it's all right. It's all right, Miss Melody. If I see you on one of them platforms, I'm going to pick with you. If I see your name, that goes to show you don't listen. Don't come up on nobody's stuff and make a comment to get some attention. That's why I said Miss Melody. That's why I said if I see you on the platform, I'm gonna pick with you. I don't take a lot of stuff. If you know, no, that was a diet. But look, let me watch it, because I be saying some people actually, and I'm like, what in the world? But I learned a lot being on TikTok too, that because of the community guidelines, right, they're allowing certain things. But I'm going to tell y'all, and I'm going to tell y'all, if you cannot see it, that's how, cause right, Miss Melanie, telling you now, they will send me something. But no, that's a Diet Pepsi. But it's a lot of people who I still try to watch what I say, but it's certain things they said we can say now, like certain words, but still I try to keep it, according to the community guidelines, right, of TikTok. Now, I'm gonna tell you this too, Miss Melody. As a recovering person, they don't like when I talk like that. I can't get straight into, that's why I had to say smugs, right? Because if I mention the actual word, they have flagged me because they feel like you down in the community. And then when I do my appeal, I tell them, y'all know I'm a community activist because y'all looking right at me. Stop playing with me. Y'all know I'm a community activist. Y'all know I'm a human rights advocate. Y'all know I talk about politics. Y'all know I talk about religion, and I talk about organized religion. TikTok knows that. Facebook knows that as well. Facebook, before I started coming on TikTok, used to flag me a lot. I think the longest that they shut me down one time was 30 days. Because they don't want you to educate the community. That's why whenever they send me, like right now, if they don't flag it for whatever, I'll send something back, right? I'll put like a couple of videos out and then push not appeal. But basically what they've been doing, they want me to put one video out. I do five. And when they do say something, I say educational purposes only. Y'all know, in my appeal, y'all know I'm a community activist. I'm a community organizer. I'm a human rights advocate. That's why I run off in my mouth the way I do. And I'm talking to TikTok. And I'm gonna say this too, Miss, a lot of people, I already know, Missy, and I'm talking about us, do not talk like I do. Do not talk like I do. And it's sad, right? Because to me, the stuff that we see that's happening to us, right? And we so busy doing this. Remember what I was saying earlier? We're afraid to stand up and fight for our civil rights, equal rights, and constitutional rights. We are afraid. They can't never abolish the amendments and all that type of stuff. They can't never get rid of the amendments, because if they get rid of the amendments, that means criminals can be criminals, you know, and get away with it. So you got to keep the laws in place. But see, they will make people think that they're going to get rid of this, they're going to get rid of that, they're going to get rid of this. Now, under the orange guy, right? Under the orange guy, y'all got to understand this too. He's 78 years old. Might be 79 now. Four more years. His mental state. Do y'all pay attention? Do y'all pay attention? He's not young anymore. I'm trying to think. Bernie. I think it's Bernie. Bernie Sanders. I'm trying to think of what is it, representative? Look how he fell one day. That man, what, in his 80s? These people been in politics for 20, 30, 40 years. What's up, Maxwell? They older. A lot of them are stuck in their ways. That's why a lot of the stuff that the orange man is doing, he's violating our constitutional rights. And the only reason why they can't impeach him right now is because the Republicans hold more of the seats in Congress or the Senate. Now, the moment the Democrats get back in there, watch it flip. Everybody want to blame stuff on the Democrats. It's not the Democrats. I can tell you as a Republican myself, their mission is to cut out a lot of these programs so that people can be more independent, but they don't have I'm talking about the state and government programs, right? Federal programs. But they don't have programs on the ground level. They do. But they're not guiding them to these type of helps to help them become more independent. That's what me and some of the Republican parties was arguing about. I said, y'all talk a real good game about y'all want to come into the inner city, teach them how to be more independent, stuff like that. I'm like, well, come on. I got your back. That's what I do in the inner city. Where they at? And this is what makes me mad about the Republican Party. Now, y'all want to talk about food stamps. Y'all want to talk about housing. Y'all want to talk about this and that, right? Now, when you got a person that's not looking for food stamps, they're not looking for these things to help them survive. And the moment you tell them that, because they know that's not a struggle for them, it's all about them. Watch. It's not about the people that really needs to help the most. Even to help those people to become more independent. So they won't have to rely on state and government funding. Ask them what is they doing in the communities to help turn it around. Well, see, I guarantee you they won't say nothing because they're not about solutions. That's what y'all need to understand. They are lawmakers. They're not solutionaries. That's where your grassroots organizations and business come in at. That's why when I hear a lot of y'all talk and you're real good about politics, but you're not good about solutions. That's all they can do is create laws. Either you're going to live by them. If you break them, you're going to that big old plantation, slave plantation. Are they teaching you or have programs that's intervention programs, right? so that you can get out of certain behaviors. Strategies. No, because that's not what they do. They create laws. That's why they call lawmakers. Same way with the police. If you break the law, they understand the laws that you break to arrest you and charge you. And will put 20 charges on one thing. That's to give the prosecutor something to play with. I realized that when they did it with me. 14 goddamn fake charges. It was 17 altogether. The white police, 14 charges. Home invasion, burglary, armed robbery. Now, Maxwell, how am I going to do a home invasion on my business and my housing program? On my rental property? And the guy that he called himself saying I assaulted was my nephew. He ain't even know all that. He ain't even know it. And then the detective lady got mad at me like a lot of y'all do. You want to ask somebody a question, then you're going to tell them that's all you got to do is say yes or no. I told her, no, I won't. She asked me a question, I started explaining. So she got mad at me and created 3 more charges. It was 2 white people. Only thing I'm not doing is calling out their names. But God knows I want them to apologize to me for what they did and what my family went through. And I reached out to the commissioner 3 times during that time. I reached out to Brandon Scott. I reached out to Ivan Bates. I even told Isabel Cumming. I even told Mackenzie Frost what I was going through with the Eastern District Police Department. So a lot of y'all, when I say certain things, like, what did you do? I was doing this. Because see, a lot of y'all see stuff that they're doing to continue turn the black community apart. You're so freaking afraid to say something. I'm looking at the Black Panther Party, the ones now speaking out. And I hope I said their names right. But it's a group of them now, and all of them are not black. I was looking at them. But they standing up for the people's rights against the police department. And a lot of y'all would just sit back. You see what's going on in your community. And I've been looking at some of them on TikTok. Or if I go on X, somebody might be doing a live stream on them. The Panther Party and all this stuff now. Well, if I'm saying the wrong name, please forgive me, but it's one of them groups like that, right? But it's a lot of groups out there. Don't get it wrong, because I know they're in Baltimore City. A lot of y'all just not a part of it. And everybody on TikTok to make a point, to be able to have a conversation with somebody. Well, see, statistics says this and statistics says that. Talk about your city. What is they doing in your city? What programs in your city? They're helping to reduce the unalive rate, the fentanyl and the opioid epidemic and stuff like that. I don't hear y'all talk like that. Well, such and such and them, they fighting for this and they fighting for people's civil rights, equal rights, and constitutional rights. Y'all don't say nothing like that. But you got some great talking points that just keep doing this. As soon as I step in, because I hear people say, well, we're not getting to the root cause. We're not getting, and the moment I open up my mouth, the goddamn host will cut me off. So I understand this business for you. I respect that. Because a lot of us like making money off our people pain and misery. Think about that. That's not what the couch conversation is about. I'm not trying to fatten up my pockets to make money off of our own people pain and misery and be proud of it. I don't play that. I don't play that. And Tony, if you over there watching me, and I'm going to do this again with you too. I do not sell our people out to fatten up my pocket. And I was offered money to shut my mouth. And I tell a lot of y'all the reason why I didn't do it. Because I felt like, because I'm serving the spirit. So when I say I feel like my conscience would have ate me up, I'm talking about the Holy Spirit. If I had took that money to shut my mouth. So when I say my conscience, I'm talking about the Holy Spirit. I tell y'all, I'm an ordained deacon. I was called back to the streets. When I was in the church, I was standing up, we was doing the offering, we was doing all this and that. In the church. I was serving in the church. But I was in the streets anyway because I sponsor people. Being in the 12-step program. And I tell y'all, the Holy Spirit hit me and said, I need you more out there than in here. I tell y'all that when I come on here. I don't care if a lot of y'all don't believe it. I don't care who you believe in. But when I talk about the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, I was taught. If you dealing with somebody and they don't talk about the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, get away from them. That's how I recognize God-fearing people too. Because when I mention the Father, or I mention the Son, and I mention the Holy Spirit, and I know, and it's only one God, but I know you familiar with that, then I know we on one accord in that sense. Because a lot of people you can talk to that's really religious and all this type of stuff, right? And some spiritual too. They will go and talk about the Bible as well. But a lot of them don't realize they won't speak on the transformation. How that spoken word, how the spoken word became the written word that became the living, breathing word. It's right there. It's right there. Oh, it's fake. Oh, it's phony. The spoken word. Who else created this earth? I wish y'all could tell me. The Neanderthals. It's about 7 different human before they got to us, right? That they break it down. I was reading that. I was studying on that. They was talking about which one they believe Adam came from. As it break it down, right? And I heard a guy on here one day, and I think he accused the white people and mixing them in with the apes. Talking about how man started standing up straight. And I think he took that there to the white people. But now what I read up and I studied on, that Adam, and we know Adam was made from the dirt. It was from the red clay. The genetics, they believe in his genetics was black, brown, and white. So even when you go to the 12 tribes of Israel, we talking about the sons, right? So where did the Chinese come from? Which brother produced most of your melanated or Africans? because it breaks it all down. So a lot of y'all is real good with that. I read through that type of stuff, right, doing research, but I can't hold water too long. That's because I don't like a lot of stuff loading my mind down. So do y'all understand in the Bible it says to study to show thyself approved? He ain't talking about the man, talking about the God. Study thyself. Study to show thyself approved. I remember back then when I was trying to win the approval of man. I wanted to satisfy man until I read across that. Steve, stop trying to win favor in man. God and man will see. Now, I tell a lot of y'all too, my actions, anything I say out my mouth, if I tell you I'm doing this and I'm doing that, if I tell you we had to shut one, I ain't had to shut it down. But the lady that I was leasing from, and I don't want to get too deep in that, we got into it about some stuff. I know I'm a very handsome man, catch the hint. I don't step across certain lines. I don't mix business and pleasure. And people was telling me I should have did it. No, I should not. And the people that told me that, I respect them to the utmost. Church going people ain't gonna tell me I should have just went on and did what I did. So, you know, I'm like, no. And I couldn't believe they were saying it, Max. Some God-fearing people was telling me I should have slept with somebody so they could sign that lease over to me. A lot of y'all might be sellouts like that. I don't play. I don't play. Now, I haven't said that. I haven't talked about that in a while. And I was telling my daughter tonight, every time, it's like I call myself working with the black people. Now, you didn't hear me say the white man, did you? Every time I call myself working with us, right? I get hurt more by my black freaking people. And that's what me and my daughter was talking about. And when they locked me up, Maxwell, a couple of years ago, it was my daughter that kept running around there making sure the two houses was you know, everything was running right. She had her father's back. So what do I look like coming on TikTok knowing that I got 4 productive women in my life? And I'm talking about my children. And the one I'm telling y'all about is my stepdaughter. That's my 26-year-old stepdaughter that I've been raising since she was 2 months. I'm sorry. Had her father's back with his business and still trying to live her own life. What do I look like coming on TikTok, right? What do I look like coming on TikTok and bashing women when I raised 4 of my own? Matter of fact, I raised more than that. My niece is 45 years old. I raised her, her sister, her brother. They used to call me, Maxwell, Uncle Daddy Steve. They all grown with children now. See, y'all don't want to hear that, right? Y'all want me to sit back and say, yeah, I'm a sorry, no good, blah, 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 right? Did foster care with them, kinship foster care. How many men you know do that? And when I would go to some of those meetings, right, because you know you have to get license and everything, I seen grandmothers there raising now their children kids when they didn't raise their children and their children ain't raising theirs. And I'd be the only man sitting there. And I want my sisters to hear this. So next time you call yourself degrading a freaking man and I'm on that panel, understand I'm not a freaking joke. And then the moment I go to open my mouth, before I could say something, you round. Because you don't want to hear it. And if I turn around and call you miserable, now I'm disrespectful. But guess what? I ain't got to call you miserable because your behavior is showing it. So a lot of this, Maxwell, and I seen Lauren just came up with mic check. Stop playing. That remind me of what's his name? Mic check. And I'm gonna say I study, right? I study so I can learn how to better fight the system that we cry about. A lot of y'all don't. You already know when you talk about the system, you already know it's designed, right, for us to not succeed. You already know that. So why you gonna keep talking about it? What you going to do to help it turn the work on change? Now, I heard I'm bad with names, but he was running for mayor in Baltimore City. And everybody that's basically in the politics, they know what's happening. Whether you're a Democrat or Republican, they know what's happening, right? And his name right on the tip of my tongue. He said, we can't have the whole pie. Now look at the world as a whole. And then look who's basically trying to enslave and imprison the people. Marcus, look, no disrespect. I'm cool, bro, and you already know it. So stop playing. Stop playing. I don't take that right. I don't take that route, and that's not to disrespect you, okay? I don't. No. But stop trying to throw me off, Marcus. But I respect, long as you all right with you, I respect that. But no, I don't. I don't go that route. But Ralph was running for mayor. And this is what he said, Marcus. He said, because he already know the system. He was a correction officer and all that too. He wrote some books. Marcus, it doesn't matter, bro. I'm just Marcus, look, he gonna post something talking about I'm gay. I find you attractive. Then he gonna say I'm not gay. I'm a G. Marcus, it don't look. Come on, I respect people. Then you gotta understand because look, Marcus, you throwing me off. But look, let me say this again. Ralph Johnson, I can say his name, right? Forget you, Marcus. But look, Ralph Johnson, he wrote some books about the prison system, right? And he asked me to help him in his mayor campaign. So anyway, he said, now no one say the system as a whole, but the way he put it, he said we know that we can't have the whole pie, but at least give us a slice of the pie. And when he said that, that really changed a lot of stuff in me, because it helped me to understand, Marcus, as a black man, whatever we want out of life and woman, you got to work for it. You already know ain't nobody gonna hand you nothing. The same way the white man worked to get where they at. The same way black people working to get where they at. Rather than robbing and stealing and taking. It doesn't matter of your ethnic. Y'all keep doing that white black thing. Like we the only people that exist in this world. No. And doing what I do, right? What's up, G? McGee. Look, doing what I do, right? I need funding. Because the goal with us, and I know you know this too, Maxwell is in Liberia. He's on my other platform. So it's what? It's daylight is 4 hours up over there. So it's 1:18 here. So it's what? 6, 5, 4 up there. The sun probably get ready to come up. But guess what? The goal with what, Marcus, the goal with what we're working on in Baltimore City too, is to start rehabbing and revitalizing houses in the inner city for the poor people. Why? I mean, never mind, Marcus. I was getting ready to say why, right? I did say why, but the only reason why I said never mind, Marcus, because if you realize, I'm just saying this, if you realize a lot of black businesses not trying to put back, I understand that. But I know, and I can only speak for Baltimore City, I know a lot of black businesses and nonprofits, and I'm talking about mainly brothers, who's doing some great work in Baltimore City. And I guarantee you, DC too, Chicago, all of them, because wherever you got corruption, you have groups or nonprofits to help, balance that out. You just don't hear about them a lot. But because of the work I do, right, and the people that I'm with, I know the organizations that's in the city that's doing a great job compared to the information that's being fed out. I already know that. Already know it. Donald Trump called Baltimore City a rat-infested place when he first ran. But did he send some type of company in to help take out that infestation? They got businesses out there that does that. In your inner city community, they have business out there. Because I went and this area was having an issue with rats. And I said, that's all they got to do is spray that stuff under the ground that will take them out under the ground. I said, are they coming in your house? The houses, brand new houses. Now, see, this is with Big Mouth Steve at. Because basically, like I said, anytime now, Marcus, I'm going to do this because I don't know where you at, right? So it could be 90% for those people and where you are at. Because the black caucuses, right, with DC and Baltimore City, they are black. They are black. So now, but even the Hispanics, I'm going to say immigrants, whatever culture, they have their own, I'm going to say, I'm trying to think of the word, like human rights advocates group, right? Because whenever we do stuff here too, Marcus, and I know it's worldwide, I can tell you that. We have a lot of the Jews are going through stuff too. Now y'all don't hear about that. But being a member of Communities United, and me and one of the ladies, right, young girls, she works with the mayor. She works there in the mayor's office, but she is a member of the Jewish population. So it's like she's speaking out for the Jewish people. That's why everybody be thinking it's just bloods. And to show you exactly what I'm saying, Bishop Carrington, I got a 16-foot box truck. I was going to pick up donations for him to feed the people of Park Heights in the Jewish community. Look at my pictures. I'm up there at the synagogue. Then we moved from one synagogue to, I think we went a little further out to another Jewish area. And guess what? He got grant money to get food. Because with most of the food pantries and stuff like that, a lot of them get that grant money where they can get food and stuff, right? And serve back to the community. So that's what he had. So I will go and get his product and take it up there to them. So I'm telling y'all, when you get involved into your community, associations, events and stuff like that, you got others from, I'm gonna say, that's legal citizens, right? That come from foreign countries and they might have product here. They donate a lot of that stuff too to nonprofits like mine. Well, I'm not a nonprofit, I'm an LLC, but I do nonprofit work without the 501c3. I can get donations and give it right back. Because I mess with other nonprofits that if I need to write off a receipt to you, I can use that EIN number. So I'm telling y'all, it's a lot of ways and means for us to help our people, to take care of our people. But on TikTok, man, I had to come up, right? Because number one, the reason why, well, basically, I'm up because I got up today about 3 o'clock. So I know I'm gonna fall asleep around about 4. But I wanted to come on. I was trying not to. I was trying to wait. Matter of fact, Mr. Humble came on tonight. Ron came on tonight. And those are the main 2 platforms that I've been going on lately. But I don't like a lot of drama. I don't like it. It just does something to my spirit. I'm telling y'all now. When you hear me over here and I go loud, now my spirit is like out of whack. So what I have to do from time to time, when my spirit begin to get out of whack, I got to stay off of this. A lot of y'all might not realize it. But when you come up on these platforms and you spitting bad poison, certain people, it throws them off spiritually. Now, you might feel as though you're doing a great thing, but you actually are unaliving people spiritually, mentally, emotionally, psychologically. And can't nobody tell you you're wrong because you can't even see it. It's just like it's embedded in you. It's embedded in you. And for somebody who deals with people that likes to look more for the, like, getting to the root cause of why people do what they do or why things happening, solutions. And I'm just looking at us. I'm just looking at us as a black race of people. It's sad. It's sad. It is so sad. And I'm going to tell y'all, I love me some TikTok because it helps me. I know y'all say it's an app. It's a social media platform to me. But y'all want to call it an app. To me, it's no different than Facebook. It's no different than Twitch or Twitter or nothing like that. It's no different. But it's just over here, I have never, in my 63 years, you slept offside? Look, I knew, hey, Miss, I knew when I came on, because I normally start my show at 2 for the team talk, right? I said 9 times out of 10, I ain't going to be up. I said, I said, I don't know. My team talk. Look, by the time I do get up, it might be around about 2, right? And I'm gonna be like, I don't feel like it. But if I most likely, if I feel like it, I'll come back on a little bit later. But I just wanted to share basically what we was talking about on the Zoom, because I try to surround myself with people that's actually working on solutions. You know, that's how I do, Missy. And anybody that knows me in Baltimore City, they know Steve is about, he's about solution. I mean, if that's all you want to do is just talk around about stuff and circles, continue doing it. I hear it a lot. I hear it with our politicians. And I hear a lot of people on here, and it's like y'all ain't no different than. It's like I'm hearing our politicians. Well, all right, this is what we can do to slow this down, to put a stop to that, to slow that down, put a stop to this. Some stuff you can gain control over it. And when you gain control over it, right, once you gain control over it, that's a form of slowing certain things down. Like when y'all hear me say things like harm reduction in the community of color, safety in the war zone. I'm talking about the inner city. These are topics that if you come into a community to help the community members, that's your community. That's your neighborhood, to gain control back over their community. A lot of black people don't want to hear it. Know why? Because they're afraid to gain control back over their community. But my thing is, come out. Come out to the community meetings. Whatever issues you have in your community. 9 times out of 10, the mayor probably going to be there. 9 times out of 10, your council member going to be there. Your member that's in the House of Delegates going to be there. Because now they're here to see how they can address those issues. Then you're going to have organizations or programs that's nonprofits that's in your community. It's your nonprofits that's in the community that's supposed to be slowing a lot of that stuff down too with their programs. Did y'all know that? Or let me say this in another way. Do you really care? Do you care? Some of them getting grant money. So the ones you know that's actually getting paid to do certain things, you need to get involved. Now I'm only sharing with y'all what I have been doing throughout the years to build back up in our community with other people. So don't feel like when I say certain things, y'all might go, "Oh, that's his pride, that's his ego, that's this, that's that." That's confidence. But you want to you want to flip it into something negative. Do you realize? And I already know it takes a lot of courage and confidence to step outside that box. Because now what you're doing, you actually putting your life on the line. So I understand it. Because that's what I'm doing. Going against the grain. So I know how challenging it is. But I want to see more of us come together. I ain't talking about the white man. I'm talking about the black man and woman. So I'm gonna get ready to end this. I did something to my background on my other phone. I just had it charged up. Updated, but I don't like my background. I think I did something to the color of it. I don't like it. But guess what? Like I said, when I come on here, I do not look for the crowd. I know it's a lot of people in Baltimore City that hears everything I say when I come on my live. I know a lot of y'all don't respond to a lot of the stuff I say, and hey, that's fine. That's fine. But I know no matter what, I got 5,000 on my main Facebook page. Friends. And I go through it all the time. And I will start deleting out certain people. Mainly if we only got 1 or 2, 3 friends together, I will get rid of you. If we got, it's a certain amount I will keep. If I see we got 200, 300, I'll keep you. Because I know 9 times out of 10, when it's a certain amount, either you into politics or you're into the church or you're part of NA. I already know that. Anytime I got least over 200, 300, 400, 500, I know, and I see Dr. J there, and I see other people like that, Christopher Anderson, Shannon Wright, or Brandon Scott, or some of our council members. I know that's politics. When I see bishops, when I see pastors, when I see evangelists, when I see ministers, I know that's normally church, and not just the Church of the Redeemed, but it's churches that we fellowship with. So anytime I see us with a lot of friends, mainly in the hundreds. Now, be honest with y'all, because I've been in NA for almost 33 years, I've seen me and some of the people have almost like 1,000 friends together. And when I look at it, that's NA. But anywhere between that, 600, 700, I know 9 times out of 10 when I see it, it's either NA, if it's that many friends we have together, right? That we know each other. Either it's NA, let me make sure I say it right. It's NA or the church. If it's 200, 300, 9 times out of 10, it's politics. Because those are the people I mainly try to bring on my stuff. I try to follow. You got to watch who you deal with. And all of them not black. All of them not Democrats. They Republicans and Democrats. And what they do, they invite me to certain functions that they're having. I don't have a problem with that. My thing is I try to get to know the individual. Not all about it's just like their religious beliefs, you get me? When you're looking at the Democratic Party, when you're looking at the Republican Party or the Green Tea Party, it's other parties out there y'all never talk about, but still, that is their political affiliation and what they believe in their sense, what they stand for. A lot of y'all don't know what the Democrats stand for. Then y'all don't know what the purpose and the mission of the Republican Party. But y'all know politics. The Republican Party, their mission is to dissolve a lot of these state or government programs. But They also want people to learn to be more independent for themselves, where they don't have to rely on state and government funding. But they're not teaching them. See, that's why a lot of y'all don't get it. They're not teaching them. That's what strengthening the community coming at. That's where your grassroots organizations coming at. And I hear y'all talk so much about politics and this and that, but they are lawmakers. That's all. They create policies. The moment I ask y'all what politician have a program in the inner city or in the area that need their help the most, and mainly it's your inner city, your poor people, your poor communities that relies more on housing, that rely more on food stamps. Now, if you making six figures and you getting food stamps, something ain't right. And in some cases, you making $60,000, $70,000 and you getting food stamps, something ain't right. And most people that get a certain amount of food stamps get food stamps because they got children. And if you don't have children and you getting $400, $500, $600 worth of food stamps, something ain't right. Because normally you have to give them their ID, like birth certificates and stuff like that. Social Security card and stuff like that. So if you got people making six figures and getting food stamps and don't have kids, something is definitely not right. Somebody somewhere is hooking them up. Stop playing them games. When you come from living a corrupt lifestyle, right? When you come from living a deceitful lifestyle, when you come from that lifestyle of lying, manipulating, and cheating and all that type of stuff, real recognize real. When you come from it and you're no longer in it, it's like you see your old behaviors in a lot of the corruption. Y'all don't realize that? That's why we spot certain things. Sometimes I see you for who you are, but then I might see that you are really a better person than what I'm looking at. So I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. But once I see you really, that other side of you is, that corrupt side is there, I just don't want to be a part of that. I don't. And if that's what you got to do to make your money, look, okay, stay over there. That's all I'm saying. That's why a lot of y'all moved away. No, let me stop. Because God, be honest with y'all, moved a lot of y'all out my life. Wasn't me. Wasn't me. I'm telling you. I still, for a lot of people in Baltimore City, that we came through this thing hard together, and we're no longer like that again, you better look at what happened. And I can tell you right now, it wasn't me. Because I ain't flip up on none of y'all. I ain't flip up on none of y'all. Y'all know Steve is Steve. The only thing in Baltimore City, y'all know when I first started my life, I was calling out names. I was putting them on blast by calling out names. I was a lot louder than where I am at now. I had to learn to stop calling names. I had to learn to stop being so specific. But a lot of y'all call names, but you can't see your stuff. And then you tell me, oh, Steve this, Steve that. No, you were doing the same things and still doing it. A lot of y'all know where I've been at for the last 2 years. Just came off a home monitor March the 28th. So how am I out in the community starting bull crap? Y'all out there still carrying my name around in Baltimore City. Steve this, Steve that, and y'all know I'm not out there like that. As far as for that bull crap, for the people that's trying to spread stuff. I got people calling me saying, yeah, you know, they saying this, saying that. Well, hey. I'm minding my business. If that's what they want to do to try to make themselves look good, try to make me look bad, keep doing it. Y'all know I just had my feet operated on in August. Now I'm trying to walk so I won't be still wiggling, wobbling. Y'all know what we had to do in replacing a lot of the clients in the building? Y'all know all that. But I'm not out there in y'all circle. I'm not in that circle. But y'all still out there. Steve this, Steve that, Steve minding his goddamn business. Now I want my own. I don't mind leasing it, my own building. I ain't talking about what was that? Subleasing. Call myself trying to help somebody get the money they was putting out, and they gonna turn around and kick me straight up my butt. When I'm collecting money, so the money they putting out their pocket because they don't have clients. So I got clients so we can help pay for the bills. But I'm the bad person. Black people. That's what I was talking with my daughter about too. My biggest thing is I trust y'all too much. But I understand you learn a little bit from everything. Whatever failure you failed here with, it's not a failure, it's a learning lesson, be honest with you. You take it into the next one, you know what to watch out for when you see it coming. So like a lot of y'all know, my tolerating you, and I'm talking about business-wise, I'm not swaying on what I do. Y'all know the name of the business, Strengthening the Community, the LaTanya D. Copeland House of Hope. I work with the homeless and less fortunate individuals and families to help them change the quality of their lives. I ain't stuttering. And y'all know that's what I do. Most of my clients have money. They either on SSI, SSDI, or they get TCA. So the goal is to get them into affordable permanent housing. What is y'all doing? It's not an assisted living program. It's a temporary to permanent housing. It's like your transitional housing programs. It's not to keep them forever. So don't be sitting up there, right? When I talk about what I do and compare me to somebody else that's robbing and stealing and taking from the homeless and the less fortunate. That's not what Steve did. I don't take their money. I don't take their cards. I don't take their food stamps, because we got a whole crew that will teach them how to be responsible and productive. If they don't know how to wash clothes, we got a team that will teach them how to wash clothes. They don't know how to shop. We got a team that will teach them how to shop. They don't know how to cook. We got a team that will teach them how to cook. They don't know how to clean their bodies right. We got a team that will help them with all that too. Changing the quality of people's lives. And I'm talking about my family in Baltimore City, the one that I came through this whole process with, that has nonprofits and have organizations and all this type of stuff that's doing some work in the community. Don't put me in that bull crap. And like I tell any one of y'all, if y'all got something you want to say to me, call me, talk to me. But if you rabble golf for people's lives, continue doing it. You like that he said, she said, this said, that said, then keep doing it. Keep doing it. But y'all know me. Y'all know what I do. Mainly with this big mouth. Y'all know it. What y'all want me to do? Start kissing people's tails and all that type of stuff like a lot of y'all doing? Bending over backwards? I ain't give my booty to nobody. You know, I didn't mean to go there. That wasn't me. That was him. A lot of y'all in Baltimore City, I love. But God removed y'all out of my life, not me. And I know when I'm able to get about, back in, moving about and physically being able to move around. The good part about it, I can walk along a block now. And then I'll tell myself I'm going to go out and I'm going to walk all the way down there, all the way back up here. Sometimes I might have to take breaks in between, leaning on poles and stuff or sitting on the bus stop because I'm walking, you know what I mean? Trying to get that energy back so I can get back out there again and do what I got to do. Then it dawned on me, Steve, you getting old, you ain't young no more. And a lot of times I be wanting to give up on our Black people. Is it really worth it? Is it really worth it? God, do you want me to continue doing this? Is you trying to move me in another direction? And I really started realizing too, this is a lonely journey for a lot of God's chosen people. And I started seeing that. Because it's not me. God removed a lot of y'all away from me. And I just want y'all to know I still love y'all. I just understand I need to love you from a distance. It's times I be wanting to pop up when I know y'all giving community functions. Sometimes he just don't want me to. Leave it alone, Steve. I already know that. It's a lot of y'all. I'm talking about Baltimore City. Y'all know me. Know I don't play. I used to take sleeping pills to go to sleep. I haven't took sleeping pills in years. I had went and got some melatonin, right? Matter of fact, when I was in the hospital, I took some melatonin to help me sleep. That stuff made me feel miserable as heck. I said, I don't want it no more. because what it's like now, that's all I do when it's a certain time. And I do a puzzle game now and all that. Anything to bring this, to keep the spirit at peace, right? So once I turn everything off, Lord, thank you for another beautiful day that you put in my life, blah, blah. And it seemed like for like 5 minutes after that, I'm gone. And sometimes I be thinking about like the PMs and stuff like that to help me sleep. I'm like, why? Because I was so used to taking them to help me sleep. And God just puts me right to sleep. It's like a baby. And I can share this with a lot of y'all, right? And you won't get it if you don't understand. Because the stress of life, right? Challenges and stuff like that tends to weigh us down. So a lot of times we can't sleep because our mind is racing because of all of this, right? And now I can go to sleep and don't have to take nothing. Rather I get on my knees or rather I just roll over and say, thank you, Lord, and just had that conversation with him. And I lay there to go to sleep. Next thing you know, I'm up. If it's no more than a couple of hours later. Sometimes I might have to go to the bathroom or something like that. Sometimes I'll sleep straight for a while. I don't sleep a regular 8 hours, but I'll sleep. I never was able to sleep 8 hours. Maybe when I was younger. But the reason why I'm saying that, because I'm talking about the peace. I'm talking about the spiritual connection. I'm talking about the covering of God. Then y'all will look at me, why he loud? Why he this? Why he that? And I tell y'all, that's how I minister. That's how I minister. I get loud. The same way when you have a pastor that's behind the pulpit and he goes into that yelling and blah, blah, blah. This is, I mean, mine's is a little different. God uses us in his own special way. You got people that even talk about pastors that go, in the name of Jesus. Y'all will talk about that. Because I make fun of it too. So look. But I'm starting to believe that God wants me to do my own thing more. And I've really been trying to support other people on TikTok in your prompts. I mean, your platforms. But I truly believe that God is telling me to move away. I do. Now, I'm not going to stop my TikTok. I'm not going to stop mine. I'm not going to stop my platform. I'm not. Because it's not about y'all. And if I got to sit here by myself just to throw a message out, I'm not looking for all the accolades because somebody, I don't know who it is, who it may be, where they at, I don't know it. I might not know until, say, like somebody might send me a message and say thanks for what you said tonight. Because people do that. When the next time you coming on, stuff like that. When I come on, I'll pray Mondays supposed to be 4 South. Wednesday, I had another name for Wednesday. Fridays, and this was the schedule. Mondays 4 South. Wednesday, the truth. Oh, keeping it real, the truth. And on Friday supposed to be my 12-step spiritual journey, right? And then Saturdays to be more real team talk show. But now on here I got 5 to 5:45 for my Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, but I moved it to 4. But some days I ain't lying. Some days I might get up. It might be if I don't have something to do, I'll sleep a little late. If I don't have to run and do certain things, I'll sleep late. And what I realized, and it was hard for me at first to understand, that Steve, you got a whole team of people that you put together that will actually not that would actually doing what you need to get done. Mainly Tishawn, Wanda, Phyllis. People will still call them if they need somewhere to go, because my phone won't vibrate. Normally, if I see it, it's a 410. I know it's a regular number. I might grab it. You leave me a message, I'm going to call you back. I tell them that all the time. Leave a message. Those are the things that I had to do to be able to find some peace and rest for myself. Because doing the type of work that we do, people will call you 3, 2, 3, 4 in the morning because they think they're calling a shelter. So they will, and people out of town will call because they think they're calling a shelter. They might be calling in Baltimore City looking for like a family member. All right, Baltimore City. I love y'all, and I'm gonna go ahead and end this right here. It's been 2 hours and almost 5 minutes. And I'm gonna end this one on my TikTok as well. And get ready to lay my butt back down and go to sleep. But I was fighting not coming on. I was. But I wanted to share some of the stuff with y'all, right? Because lately I've been thinking about a lot of stuff been coming to my spirit, right? Mainly when it comes to men mental health, right? Men mental health. I've been looking up certain, like the PRPs, right? So I can get a better understanding of what PRP does. Because I work with PRPs. I just know they PRPs. I know they considered as counselors, right? But it says psychiatric rehabilitation. Then it say programs. That's what the PRP are. And then it goes on to explain basically what they do to help you put your life back in order. That's like your personal counselor. So it doesn't matter what it is. So dealing with my housing program, remember what I said, we help people change the quality of their lives. So if you don't know how to cook, we're going to have somebody to teach you how to cook. If you've been living in a tent, 9 times out of 10, the ones that live in a tent, the tent is toe up in the inside. That's the same way they will live in that room. They will live in that room like they living in a tent. But when you come into my housing program, you're going to clean your room. You're going to keep your space clean because we got to break that habit. Some of them they won't make up their beds. They'll throw the trash on the floors. They'll do all of that. If they got their own apartment, they will trash that apartment the same way if they was in a tent. That's why you have to check on them to make sure they're not doing the same things. This is breaking that habit. So that's why I have the women that work with the women, mainly with the women and the women with children. I mainly work with the men. The men is more easy to work with compared to the women. You get me? Because you break in a cycle with the women. Mainly if they're not used to doing certain things. So, all right. And I had to go ahead and start doing this so that when I do come on and talk, and it's all about therapy, I'll have a better understanding on how to educate the people. So when I go on certain platforms with certain topics, right, prompts, and I hear y'all, I keep going here towards my clients. Because I'm talking about working with people, right? So when I hear people, and I hear a lot of people with psychiatric issues, I'm telling y'all now, and y'all know it. And a lot of y'all, I don't know if you on your meds, you wouldn't be sounding like you do on here. And a lot of times when y'all steady over talking and won't let nobody talk, your mind is racing. Your mind is racing. Anytime you feel like you just need to get out, or somebody go to say something, you can't shut your mouth while they say something because your mind is racing. I'll sit there and be mute for at least about a half an hour, 15, 20 minutes listening to y'all. And people be like, Mr. Steve ain't say nothing. Ain't nobody let Mr. Steve talk. Because they hear y'all just doing this. But they looking for some type of order, you get me? Or some type of solution. Because when I come in there, mind you, I might want to speak on this. I might want to speak on that. So if I say something, y'all are steady keep talking. I'm trying to come in. Somebody say just jump in. I say I'm not jumping in like that. Because when I jump in, I got to start yelling. And then if I start yelling, then we all will start yelling. Look how y'all say stuff now. And I'm on mine. And I be on panels, man, everybody at one time trying to talk. Everybody. Even the host would do it sometimes. All 8 boxes going off and the host. I'm like, what in the world? That's called poor communication skills. If you on TikTok doing it, I'm just looking at your mind. I'm looking at your brain. I'm like, that sucker racing. Woo. Post-traumatic slavery disorder. CBT. Make sure I pronounce it right. Cognitive behavior therapy. The reason why I started writing certain things down, because I didn't know that like one lady came on here and she says she does hypnosis. So she's a hypnosis therapist, right? And another lady came up and said she does that too. Now, because they are therapists, they license, but they're not a medical doctor. Your medical doctor is your psychiatrist. So people that's actually say was diagnosed with either being bipolar, schizophrenic, all that type of stuff, they can work with you, but they can't medicate you because they're not a medical doctor. That's when the psychiatrist. So now keep in mind, I'm not a professional like that, but I guide my clients to the professional. So I have to know about your positions and how you work with them, or which one, for the work that you do. I have to know. Hey, Dr. K. So all of this to me is still a learning process. So still for a lot of y'all on here that wants to do your statistics and you want to do your research and you want to talk about everything else but life, sleep, right? Because that's where you at. Now I have to do research too, the same research that most of your therapists, psychiatrists, PRP, what they had to do to become licensed or get the degrees in those their doctorate in those areas. Now I have to read some of it up too. But now, because I do have the working knowledge of the 12 steps, and I help take people in the inside to deal with those grassroots issues. Help them get to the exact cause of why. It wasn't a specific topic, right? But I was on a Zoom call today, and not tonight, but if you're feeling better, we are gonna have to talk. I was on a Zoom call. I mean a Zoom, and we was talking about psychological behaviors. What we talk about a lot anyway. And not only that, it's a lot of what we talk about, Dr. K. And I was just talking about what I'm getting from here. Yeah, everything okay. But certain things since we've been talking, and I know your profession, you know what I do, and I know how my clients I have to guide to the professionals, right? I have to prepare them for the professionals, Dr. K. So other than that, what I'm saying, we had a conversation earlier, right, about people with mental disorders. We was talking about people that's being very verbally, emotionally, and mentally abusive on TikTok. We was talking about how the women coming on bashing the men, then how the men degrading the women. And like the conversation was when we're dealing with people in reality other than on TikTok, I'm like, I don't get this when we out there. Like I don't hear a lot of men and women bashing each other like that. Like I hear it here. And this is like new to me. And I tell all of them that. And a lot of the people that's doing it, Dr. K, you can tell something ain't right here. Stuff that we be talking about. But anyway, I needed to get with these people because we was talking about mainly helping breaking that cycle. We was talking about breaking that cycle, post-traumatic slavery disorder as well. It's taught. So we was talking about breaking that cycle. And for me, Dr. K, I'm starting to feel like I need to read up more on certain things with people with behaviors, certain behaviors, how to address them. You get me? Because now I'm looking at mainly my clients with mental health issues. You talking about Passport Bro? You talking about Passport Bro? Passport Bro does that. And I'm gonna tell you another person that does it too. Her name is United Passport. Oh, okay. Passport Bro does it too. And I noticed he been posting little video clips and sending them over. Now he's not just doing black women. I seen him send some over of like white women too. But Pretty Intellect got on him tonight on Ron's show. I didn't go on nobody's platform tonight. I said I'm getting sick and tired of this. But I kind of glanced through and I was getting ready to go over there. But Pretty got on Passport because if I'm not mistaken, I didn't catch it all, but we know he went overseas and got a wife and came back. And she was getting on him about a 17-year-old that I think he supposedly went and got and brought back. And you know, anytime Passport talking, Passport ain't gonna let you talk. Passport, he tried to sound like he's real scientific, right? Like he's a professor. I'd say professor, right? Because I had to shut him down one day. I said, Passport, because he's trying to come for me. And I said, let me tell you something, bro. I call you nephew. I said, don't you do that. I call you nephew. So my thing is, if I call you nephew, that means I'm trying to respect you. But you taking your hard-earned money and you call yourself going over to another country to get your traditional wife, you ain't no different than a man in Baltimore City tricking. Come on, bro, let's be real. Let's be real. A lot of them, I might, because I remember you telling me about him before, Dr. K. And a lot of them is going to claim God, but if he bashing women, because he know by right, if you want to go there with God, the woman is there as a helpmate. That woman is your side, your back, your front. She's supposed to have all of that, and you supposed to have all that with her. And that's why with certain people, if you want to go biblical, we can go biblical. Now, he might have popped up on one of the platforms I was on, but it's a lot of brothers that's doing that too. Mainly our younger men. Mainly our younger men. And I'm telling you, it is getting so messy. It's getting so messy. And I believe this is God's way of saying, right? Because I'm trying my best. It's only basically two. Mr. Humble Platform and Ronovation. Conversation. And I love the prompts, but it's beginning to get so toxic. I ain't going none of that stuff today. They invited me. I'm like, no. And be honest, I'm thinking about blocking them. I'm thinking about blocking them because I'm getting sick and tired. People invite me over to their platforms, right? And I be rejecting it. I be like, thanks, blah, 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 right? Thank you, blah, blah, blah. Because I'm not going to come over there. Then I start sharing like solutions. And next thing you know, now I don't mind somebody coming for me, but when the hosts come for me, don't you ever invite me again. Don't you never. Like you want me to come over so we can start yelling and screaming and arguing just to see your number goes up. Don't play with me like that. Don't play with me like that. You can play with everybody else, but don't play with me. And I'm talking about the host. So you know, it's a lot of people that platforms, Dr. K, I had to block. I had to block. Like Major. I don't want to mention two other many names, but they know. I'm gonna tell you, I done blocked about 20 of them on there. And I got people invite me. I know they sharing the like when people say, you know, share the platforms, I stopped doing that. I said I ain't even gonna do that no more. Because I started getting people to come over that I thought would deliver a positive message. And they came over starting bull junk too, and I had to block them. I said, God darn. Every time I meet somebody, they talk a real good game. Then you give them a little bit of time, and next thing you know, it's like they flipping. I'm like, like, no. I'm telling you. So now I don't even feel comfortable inviting nobody to nobody's platform. I feel like you're gonna come up and spit some spiritual wisdom and stuff. The next thing I know, they in a debate, then you arguing and you calling people the N words, and I'm like, wait a minute, where this come from? I had to even block Ghost, and Ghost my boy. I'm telling you, man, this guy daggone, and 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 I'm gonna tell you, I give a lot of y'all on TikTok the utmost respect, and I'm gonna say this right now. A lot of y'all that like going on other people's platforms, starting chaos and confusion, y'all know for a fact you will not come up on here. You know it. I be seeing some of y'all coming through. I be seeing you know not to ask to come up on here. Mainly if you're gonna come up with that bull jump. I will watch a lot of them come straight through. And they know over here. And I make it real, real clear. You ain't coming up here with that chaos and confusion. Not over here. I will drop you faster than your mama did for carrying you for 9 or 10 months. Come over here with that bull crap. If you can't come over here and share something empowering, inspiring, motivational, even though we might touch certain subjects of what people dealing with, we might touch it just to, hit a surface, but then go into the recovery process. That's how I was taught in NA. I was taught you talk a little bit about the problem, but then you go into the solution, the recovery process. Some things we can't be too specific on certain platforms, but I was taught that in NA. You talk a little bit about whatever the trauma or the problem may be. And then you go right into the recovery process. If I'm doing an NA meeting, right, Narcotics Anonymous meeting, I'm not going to spend no 45 minutes on talking about what I used to do and how I used to do it. And then spend 5 minutes on the recovery process. So now, over the years now, I'll talk a little bit about it, just a little bit, just to touch on it. So you can relate. That's what we call it. Because we all might did the same, but we have our own methods or ways of doing it. Some people smoked. Some people snorted. It was different ways. But the pain was the same. You was running from something. So the reason why I'm saying that, yep, either you're part of the solution or you're part of the problem. The pollution, she said pollution. I like that one. That rhyme. That rhyme. She said the pollution. Yeah. You know, I was taught that early. You gotta uncover to discover how to recover. And I said from now on, basically, when I start talking, I'm gonna share more about the process of NA. Because the way I talk, it's like people act like they don't understand it. So, okay, NA has its own language. I already know that. So that's why whenever I do it, because I'm old school, we talk a little bit about the problem. Then we go into sharing about the solution. Anytime I start out in the NA meeting, I'm going to tell you like they taught me. Sit on the front row, take the cotton out your ears, put it in your mouth, suck up the information. Well, basically, I'll say other words. But if we want to know where the cop at, we'll ask you. I'll start out just like they taught me 32 years ago. Sit on the front row. Right now to this day, when I go into a NA meeting, I still sit on the front row if it's a seat on that front row. I will still go right to the front. I don't sit in the back of the meeting. I'm not back there running off in my mouth. I'm not back there with the crowd. When I come into a meeting, I go right up front on the front row. That's a habit for me. Why do you say that? He might be talking the last person. He had things for him. All right. Yeah, we were just talking. What did he do? He was swinging me. He said if I ever talked to her, he was inspired. I mean, I thought he was going to kill me. That is serious anger issues. You said the resentment road. The back roll is the resentment road. Normally, like, because I don't go like all the time like I used to, but even the ones that see me on my Facebook page and stuff, be honest with you, and it's not to brag or boast or nothing like that. When I do come to a meeting, they make me feel more like I'm a superstar. Because they know the work I do. They know I'm a church-going man. They know I help in the community. A lot of them see me on here. They just don't, a lot of them might not respond to you know, they might not like the way Steve Curry shit out. But no, they know I mean well. They know I mean well. They know I don't play. But the same way when I see them at conventions and all that type of stuff, I put a heart up. I'm proud of y'all. I done seen people, Dr. K, from the time when I came in NA, we was 30 years old. I was 30 years old. And I'm looking at people that even came behind me. But I'm looking at people in NA now. And I remember when we was all, when we had children and our children got children now. Stuff like that, right? Some of them had children and maybe grand, but still, you know, I'm looking at, we older now. We older. And I'm telling you, when I go inside meetings and I still see like Greg and all the rest of them that been there when I got here, and they still here. They ain't going away, but I'm just saying, they still here. I'm talking about our predecessors. That makes me feel good. When I first came around. And we so busy, trying to down each other and knock each other rather than looking at others as like inspirations for us. Bet not tell no woman right now, I'm a stepfather. 2 daughters I raised, stepdaughters. No, their fathers too. Their fathers ain't never had a problem. If we had a cookout, birthdays, they was always welcome. Oh, y'all don't want to hear that? Y'all don't want to hear nothing like that. They was welcome to come to the birthday celebrations, the cookouts, and all of that with their girlfriends or their wives. They was welcome. Oh no, nah, because me and my husband, well, I ain't at you. I'm telling you what. Mom, my baby mama drama. Look, I ain't. And you proud of that. If you mess with a guy and that guy got like 4 or 5 kids, he got 4 or 5 different baby mothers, that's a family, whether you like it or not. If you didn't like it, you shouldn't have got with him. Then you got with him and y'all got a baby or 2, or you got 2 babies by somebody else too, but now it's supposed to just be y'all. Whoever taught y'all that? I know. Good, good, good. I'm glad you did. I'm glad. And see, anytime, say like, and I'm gonna just say recovery. Anytime I feel like things are going out of control, right? Because for me, a lot of times what I have to do, I got to look back at the old stuff that I used to do to see, am I still practicing old behaviors in the here and now that's causing my life to be miserable? And I'm talking about with my attitude, my behavior, and all that. Now, a lot of people might think, yeah, yeah. That's why I'm getting ready to say this. That's why for me, Dr. K, as a recovering addict, the best way I can talk, I have to do a 10-step inventory. But if I feel like my life is spinning out of control and I need to talk with a therapist or somebody, I don't have no problem doing it because I want to make sure that I'm still on the right path. Because sometimes we can do, I was getting ready to say everything right, but sometimes we can live a righteous way of life. And because we're not used to living on that righteous path, it can make us seem like we're doing something wrong. But a lot of times for me, and I hope I'm not confusing nobody that's listening, I can only look at how I used to be to help me continue moving forward. So I have to look back. And if I see repeated old behaviors, then I know I'm stuck. That's why mentally and emotionally, sometimes when I talk with a therapist, 9 times out of 10, I'm venting, I'm releasing stuff. So I'm talking about me to make sure that I'm still on the path. They don't sit back and say, well, Mr. Copeland, you need to study this, you need to do that, you need to do that. No, because they already know Mr. Copeland basically know what to do. For a lot of y'all that sits back because I yell and scream and I do what I do, what I do, what I do. Oh, he this, oh, he that, because y'all know I went through that before too. No. Stop labeling people unless you understand what's really happening. I'm just a big mouth bald black dude. That's why people say, why are you getting so loud? I say, because I speak out for a living. When you in NA meetings and you got 200-300 people in the meeting, you normally have to yell. You start to speak out. When you in certain meetings, you got 200-300 people in the meeting, you'll start out like this, but you got to go up like this because they won't be able to hear you in the back. That's why a lot of times when y'all say, why are you yelling? Because I speak out for a living. Every time I'm called to speak anywhere, I'll start out real plain and simple. And I could be at the mic and somebody in the back be like, oh, we can't hear you. And I say, wait a minute, because I know me. It's like I have to warm up and then I go. But it ain't me. A lot of times y'all need to listen when I tell you why I do what I do. Now, you heard me say when I speak out, right? So even if it's a mic in front of me, I'm going to be like this in a more softer tone. But after a while, you can't stay in that soft tone. Mainly when you have like a, I was gonna say multitude, right? A big audience. That's why watch how people speak and they will back up off the mic itself. The mic could be right here and they will back up off the mic. Mainly if they used to speaking up, because then you'll speak too loud in the mic. That's why I tell a lot of people, you don't have to give me no, like the bullhorn and all that. I say, you ain't got to give me that. I said, watch this. When you know yourself. That's why you got to listen to people. Pay attention. People tell you about themselves. You got to pay attention. But see, somebody like me, y'all will sit back and say, oh, you doing this? Oh, you doing that? And then I'm like, okay, the next time I ain't going to do this. The next time I ain't going to do that. I'll be trying to adjust myself to fit everybody. No. Because what'll happen, I'll turn around and lose me trying to satisfy you. And that's what a lot of people's problems is. You trying to satisfy everybody else and you end up losing your own self, your character. This is stuff I have to teach people. Even with my daughter, right? Because that's the one, my 26-year-old, we've been, because of some other stuff. So basically, I'm helping her build back up in here. Because she had to separate herself from somebody. So I'm steady telling her how beautiful she is, how intelligent she is, how smart she is, how she's an independent woman, how she been on her own since she was 18. She finished school. She done had her own place since she was 18 years old. She's 26 now with a 2-year-old. She asking me today, she said, Dad, this girl is getting real expensive. Well, we're expensive like that. I said, yes, y'all was. I said, just one. I said, raising one child is expensive. So when I hear guys talk about I got 5, 6, 10 kids and all that, don't brag to Big Steve about it because I know you can't afford them. I wouldn't even care if you was driving the tractor trailer and you got 10 goddamn kids. Financially? Come on. Even if you driving a tractor trailer making over $100,000 a year, if you got 10 goddamn kids, 20 times out of 20, the mother doing most of the financial supporting them anyway. I already know that. And then if they spread out, I know they ain't a part. You ain't a part of that all their lives. Come on. You one individual. And if they living over here, they living over there, they living over here, you ain't got all that time to spend with them, and you driving a tractor trailer, and you got a girl here with children, but you got about 9 other kids somewhere else. Stop lying to yourself, brothers. Play with yourself. Because that's all you doing. And I'm talking about a man that wanted 10 children himself. God blessed me with 3. But I done raised over 20. Through foster care and mentoring and all that. And I'm only saying that because look, I didn't really mean to say 20, but it was like 10. Because look, I wanted 10 biological, but he did place the 10 that I had to raise like I was their father. And I know personally the time and the effort here. You see me pointing here? Because no matter what, my nieces and nephews, I love them. Not that I love them like I don't love them. I raised them like they was my own children. And I was going to say my oldest about 52, my oldest niece. The one that I basically raised that my sister had 5 children, she's 45. I was 18 years old when she was born, changing her pampers and everything. She grown now. Her sister too, her brother too. I shared that earlier, Dr. K. They used to call me as they was growing up, Uncle Daddy Steve. Y'all don't listen to nothing on TikTok. And I'm only sharing certain things, right? Just because women like to bash men or men like bashing women, just to let y'all know, yes, there are some good men out there. And the next time you put in your head and you say all men this, all men that, personally, I didn't sleep with you. You slept with all men? Well, we just generalizing. No. You saying all men, you slept with all men? And I guarantee you won't answer. Because if you slept with all men, you know what I'm thinking, 304. If you slept with all men, you want to generalize all men. And if all men want to generalize women, 304, you know good and goddamn well, we might have slept with a lot of them, right? Either way, you get me? But when I hear the women, I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. I know I done a lot of goddamn going sleeping around. Was you in Baltimore City back in the days? y'all got my mind over. Did I mean, god dang, I know I done this and I did. Did we sleep together? Where you from? If you ain't in Baltimore City, I tell you that. Let me tell you that now. So when y'all be generalizing all men this and all men that, I'm like, is you trying to tell me something I don't know? And y'all think this should be sounding good. I'm like, I done slept with a lot of women, but I'm like, oh my God. Don't make me feel guilty because I was old. We ain't got no kids together, do we? That I don't know about. Since y'all sleep with all men, do all men know that they got children by you? Sometimes watch what you say out your mouth. All men. All men. Like you done slept with all men. Now I'm just generalizing. No, talk about the ones you let in your life. And then that's why y'all over there talking about body counts. Because y'all talking about all men. How many body counts you got? That's why a lot of guys want to know now how many body counts you got. They don't want that sloppy stuff. That's why they asking. you got more than one, that thing is messed up to them. But they don't realize some women, just like some men are born big and large, and some women are born in there big too. Why don't y'all tell them that? Tell them only certain sizes is what really please you, women. My ex-wife told me that. Tell him. Tell him if he got a 3.5, it ain't gonna work. Tell him if you need 11 in that thing. You already know what sizes you like. Tell him. Why would you turn around, ladies, knowing that you need a size 23, right, for that thing, but you gonna mess with somebody that's a 6, knowing he ain't gonna be able to. What are you gonna do if he's a 6 and you a size 23 in here? He gonna keep falling out. He gonna keep slipping out. Now, do y'all want to hear Big Steve talk like that? Cause you're smooky ookie that goddamn gonna be. You go to put it in, you fall right in and be like, God damn, what the fuck? I remember them days. Like, what the hell? I pushed that sucker right to the left, got it off and got out. Come on, y'all want to talk some real shit, ladies? Since you like to run off at your mouth. But look, I be trying not to. When y'all want to come up here and look, I'm still used to doing this. I do the, and if it's stinky winky, I ain't touching it. You ain't getting it. You ain't getting that. But you want to try now. I'm telling you from Steve Copeland's perspective. I can't speak for all men. If that thing got an odor to it, I'm not touching it. And I be wanting to say little stupid stuff like that when y'all be over here trying to bash men. But if you don't know, if this ain't nice and fresh, this skin, because I like kissing all on that body. Mwah, 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 mwah. And believe me, if it doesn't taste like soap, because you just got out the shower, if your skin, I'm talking about your flesh. Now y'all want to talk about something. If your flesh don't taste right, I'm telling you, I'm going to back up off your ass. Since y'all want to talk about stuff. So if you ain't the type of person that know how to keep all this done up nice and right. Another thing too, I don't go certain places unless you took a shower. The hell I'm going to jump on you for? I wouldn't even want to sleep with you like that. Now, I know sometimes we're rushed to do things. I got that. They hit and run. I get that. But I'm telling you, if you went and you took a shower and you cleaned yourself, and if I'm kissing all on that body and I go down there and I go, ooh, you can forget it. You can forget it. So when y'all want to talk now, I'll be nice. And I might just make this little video and send it back over. But when you want to try to knock a man, if that whoop whoop ain't right, and I'm 63. So y'all want to talk about older men not being able to get it up, let that woo woo not be right. It ain't going to get up. I'm telling you now. That's why you can say it. Because if you're 50 years old and your woo woo stink, it ain't going to get up. Yup, I am going to know I'm going to need the blue pill. Then the blue pill might not work if it stink that bad. Because a lot of y'all don't really know how to take care of that thing. And grown. And got body odors. Grown. And I don't normally talk like this, but y'all know a lot of times I have to be quiet. Dr. K, you ain't have to tell me how old you is. But look, y'all ain't, look. When I listen to a lot of y'all and y'all call yourself coming for me, I be wanting to say certain little things. I be like, nah, Steve, don't do it, because if you do, y'all gonna turn around. You ain't this, you ain't that. No, y'all can say what y'all want about men. and degrading the men. And I be saying to myself, I bet you that thing smell like pew. I was talking on my live one day, right? Now this was some years and years and years ago, right? Because I was dating younger females at the time. And